our last step, now that we have our picture ready to go, and of course I really expect great quality pictures from you. This one I would definitely downgrade because her skin tone doesn't match the skin tone here. So really take some time to make your pictures look great. But once I'm set with it and I am happy with my picture, I want you to, one, crop it down to make sure it's definitely no extra white spaces located around it. And then it's very important to save your picture. So always save it. And the reason for that is if you need to go back and edit your picture, you will edit the Photoshop picture. But Photoshop doesn't work always on the web because not every computer is able to read a Photoshop picture. So we need to export it to a type of file format that can be read by all web pages. So to do that, after you save it as a Photoshop item, you go File and you say Save for Web. Now in this menu it gives you a couple different options. One, we have a PNG, a ping with 8, and our size is 22.84K, which is going to take about 5 seconds to download on a 56K modem, which actually when we had the old dial-ups way back probably just when you were born is how that would work. Would be it would take 5 seconds on one of those old dial-up modems for it to download. But we still need to, even though nobody really has dial-up anymore, we need to think about how long it's taking for our picture to download, because a lot of people do have mobile devices, and those like mobile phones, they don't download as quickly. So we have some other options that we can do. One is we could switch it to a GIF. We could switch it to a JPEG. Now if we go down to a JPEG, it really reduces the quality of or reduces the size of the picture. Your quality isn't as good either. We do have a little bit more options when we go to JPEG. For example, one, we can say the quality is at 42%. So something that we might need to consider. Now our image size is also very small. It's 194 by 264, which is very, very small. For your pictures, I would suggest that they probably be around 300 pixels. But if I take this and I say 300 pixels, it will keep it in the width and the height in ratio, but I might lose some image quality and it might get a little pixelated. If you kind of notice, if I click on the preview, it might be just a little pixelated around her arms and things like that. Now, that's something that you're always going to be battling when you're creating web pages. It's going to be high picture quality versus quick download time. So what you need to do is find the happy medium between that. So, I'm okay, I'm going to maybe switch my image size if necessary. It's actually always better to reduce the image size than it is to increase the image size like I did. I'm going to kind of look at the quality level here. I can also do some, I want it to maybe say high and 60%. When I go up to 60% quality level, I'm at 17.68K, which still isn't too bad. Definitely try to be below 20. So now that I have my settings, I have the type of picture format it's going to be, I have my quality setting, I've checked my download time, I've checked my image size. I'm going to go ahead and save it. So make sure that you save. Now I have to go to my Helen Brand Photoshop example, and you can go ahead and name it whatever you want, but when you name stuff, this is what's actually going to be published out on a website, and it's best practice to use no caps and no spaces. Now it's actually okay to use caps, but I still don't want you to use spaces. So again, I'm going to call it my last name, and then I'm just going to say example. Alright, now that does get a little long. They also say it's best if you try to use less than 8 characters, but they're making better web browsers that are able to interpret that a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Then it saves my picture for me. So now I'm going to look in my project folder. So again, here's my project folder, and I have the Photoshop. I have the picture right here, which is 18.5K. It tells me the dimensions of it, and it will tell me that this is a JPEG image, so this is the one that I'm actually going to use on my website. Here's the combination of these two. So, and then here of course is the Photoshop one. This is not something that's necessary. This actually copy the video that we're watching. So, but this is the one that's actually going to go into my website. But it's very important to export your picture, but to have your original Photoshop one in case you need to edit it and go back and make changes to it. Now, when you do your actual vacation site, what I'll expect you to do is create your project folder. Then inside your project folder, I'll expect you to make a pictures folder, and then inside that I'll have you create pictures that you've exported that are ready to go on the web, and I'll take you through that step by step. But Hopefully now you have a basic understanding of how to use Photoshop. Again, it takes a lot of time. There's a lot to Photoshop. Take some time to learn what these different tools do. Play around with it a little bit. You will be given class time to kind of play with some of those tools. So utilize that class time to really manipulate your picture and see if you can get it to do some really cool looking things. But I expect you to definitely look like you're on this vacation. Have fun with it.